Leo, something big is unfolding. A wealthy man is being drawn toward your energy, and he's ready to relocate you not someday, but before this month ends. Not out of charity. Not out of luck. But because the universe is finally responding to the quiet work you've done when no one was clapping. You didn't find this video by chance. Maybe you were scrolling, maybe you weren't even looking for anything deep, but somehow, this found you. And that matters. Because in a world flooded with noise, the right message still knows how to arrive at the right moment. That moment is now. You see, we often talk about destiny as if it's this dramatic thing, loud, cinematic, full of fireworks. But the truth is, real transformation usually walks in quietly. Just like you've been doing, Leo. Choosing integrity when it would have been easier to snap. Holding the line in silence. Staying soft even when the world got loud. You've been showing up for life, for people, for responsibilities, without needing credit. And whether or not anyone said thank you, universe saw it. Every moment of grace you held privately was not lost. It was building a frequency. And that frequency has now grown strong enough to pull something powerful toward you. Now, let's talk about what's really happening. The energy around you is shifting. We're approaching the final days of November, and astrologically, this is a moment of expansion. The sun is moving through Sagittarius, which for you means pressure's building not to break you, but to launch you. You've outgrown a version of your life, and the universe is giving you signs it's time to move. And here's the truth, someone has noticed that shift, even if they haven't said it out loud. A person of means. Of influence. Of vision. A man who doesn't chase trends but listens to energy. He feels the pull, and you are that pull. He's not coming to fix you. He's being guided to align with you. You may start to feel it as a restlessness in places that once felt safe. Or a strange calm when thinking about starting over. That's not confusion. That's clarity, taking a new form. The real question isn't, is something happening? The question is, are you ready to receive what's finally ready to arrive? So take a breath. Slow down. And stay with me. Because over the next few minutes, we're going to break this down together. From the spiritual significance of the energy shift, to what the tarot reveals, to how you can practically prepare for what's coming. Yes, practically. This isn't about floating in dreams. It's about grounding real opportunity into your actual life. Leo, if your heart has been quietly waiting for a sign that it's okay to want more, that it's time to move towards something better, this is it. Before we go any further, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. For watching. For liking, commenting, and subscribing. I mean it when I say, your presence here is not passive. It's a signal. It tells the universe you're awake, aware, and ready. And if that's true, if this message is meeting you at the right time, then say so. Let the energy respond. Comment below and write, I'm ready, or 777, to confirm your alignment. Let it echo. We're just getting started. What's being revealed in this moment is far more than a prediction, it's a sacred turning point. So stay with me to the very end. You'll see why. You've always known, haven't you, Leo? That your light doesn't need to shout to be real. That true strength isn't about being the loudest in the room, it's about knowing when to hold your ground, when to stay steady even as the world around you keeps spinning. You don't just shine. You burn with purpose, even when no one's looking. That's why this message found you. Because the universe is not responding to your perfection or your performance, it's responding to your persistence. It's responding to the quiet hours when you showed up anyway. When you bit your tongue and kept the peace, not because you didn't know how to fight back, but because you chose something higher. When you stayed up late to finish what no one would ever thank you for. When you gave a little more even though your own tank was nearly empty. That's what we're talking about here. That's the kind of unseen light that reshapes destinies. You may not realize it, but every act of grace you've offered, every time you chose kindness when bitterness was easier, every moment you stood tall in silence when ego begged you to react, that energy never disappeared. It didn't vanish into nothing. Energy, like truth, always finds its way back. That's the real meaning behind the law of return. Not just, what goes around comes around, but the deeper rhythm of how the universe moves. Quiet good does not dissolve, it circulates. It builds momentum. It travels in spirals, not straight lines. And eventually, it becomes a signal so strong that something or someone is drawn to it without needing to understand why. And right now, Leo, your frequency is doing the calling. You've done the hard part. You've lived the alignment before the applause. That's no small thing in a world addicted to instant recognition. While others posted for praise, you practiced patience. While others sought validation, you offered sincerity. And that's why the energy around you is shifting. Not because you chased it, but because you became it. There's a passage I once read that says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up." It's not just spiritual comfort, it's cosmic mechanics. You've been planting seeds in dry seasons, trusting that something would come of it. You've been walking forward without a map, letting faith be the lamp for your next step. And now, the harvest is forming, not always in ways you expected, but exactly in ways you deserve. This next part of your life won't require you to push harder. It will ask you to receive better. And that starts with recognizing that what's arriving now is not random. It's the mirror of who you've quietly become. Maybe you've started noticing small signs, someone unexpectedly treating you with respect, an invitation you didn't see coming, or even just a shift in how people react to your energy. Don't brush it off. That's alignment finding its way home. That's the echo of all you gave, all you waited for, returning not as noise, but as clarity. So take a moment right now to think about one thing you've done recently that felt kind, but unseen. Something no one praised you for. Something you did just because it felt right. And if it feels good to do so, share it in the comments below. Not for credit, but to release it. To let that energy complete its circle. Because Leo, you didn't just hold the light. You became the flame. And now, life is finally warming up in response. Growth doesn't always feel like a breakthrough. Sometimes, it just feels like you're outgrowing the life you once fought to fit into. And right now, Leo, that's exactly what's happening. If you've been feeling an itch beneath the surface, restless in routines that once brought comfort, uncertain in relationships that used to feel like home, or strangely detached from ambitions that once drove you, you're not lost. You're expanding. And the stars are backing you up. As we move into the final stretch of November, the Sun enters Sagittarius, a fire sign like yours but with a different kind of flame. While Leo burns to lead, Sagittarius burns to explore. This shift lights up your zone of movement, of vision, of possibilities beyond your current borders. And that's where things begin to get interesting. This is the part of the sky that asks you, is this all there is? And refuses to let you settle for less when you're made for more. Astrologically speaking, this transit isn't pushing you out of your life, it's inviting you to expand beyond it. There's a big difference. You're not being kicked out of comfort. You're being summoned toward a space that can better hold who you've become. And if it feels like your current environment, job, home, connection, even self-image has gotten too small, that's not a crisis. That's clarity. It's the spiritual version of outgrowing your clothes. You haven't failed. You've grown. You might not have words for it yet, but your energy is already shifting. And when your energy shifts, the world around you begins to rearrange itself. That's what the end of November is for you, Leo, a cosmic reorganization. Not to disrupt, but to replace you. To match your outer life with your inner evolution. You may start to see subtle signs, new invitations that feel oddly aligned, conversations that spark a sudden insight, or even an internal nudge to take a different route, literally or metaphorically. Don't dismiss those nudges. That's how alignment whispers. Think of it like the universe adjusting your seat before a major event. Not because you were sitting in the wrong place, but because there's a better view you couldn't see from where you were. That's the magic of divine timing, not dramatic, but deeply intentional. To work with this energy, stay grounded but open. This isn't about throwing your life away and starting over. It's about recognizing where life is already starting to shift and choosing to lean into it. Sometimes, it's as small as moving your workspace near a window. Sometimes it's as big as saying yes to a new city. Colors that support you during this shift. Amber gold to ground your worth. Deep navy blue to steady your insight. And wine red to fuel your courage to move forward. And if you work with crystals, reach for pyrite to anchor abundance, sunstone to keep your joy lit, and lapis lazuli to sharpen your inner voice. Now, I want to ask you something real. Do you feel like you've grown past the version of yourself you used to protect? Do you feel like what once felt big now feels tight? If so, let me know in the comments. Say it out loud. Type it out. Let your energy declare it. Because there's power in acknowledging your readiness. You're not being asked to abandon anything. You're being offered a new way to carry everything you've earned with more space, more breath, and more truth. And if you're feeling that pull to something bigger, trust it. That pull is not fear. That's your future taking shape. When a shift is meant for you, it doesn't come crashing through the door, it finds its way in through moments that feel oddly familiar and entirely unexpected. That's the energy I felt when I laid your cards, Leo. What came forward wasn't random. It felt precise, like puzzle pieces sliding into place after sitting scattered for years. The first card that revealed itself was the Chariot. And I want you to sit with that image for a moment, not as a symbol of escape, but as a mirror. The Chariot doesn't run from the past. It gathers what it's learned, tightens its grip on purpose, and moves forward with quiet force. That's you right now. You're not being pulled away from your life. You're being invited into the next version of it with intention. This isn't about chaos. It's about direction. Something is guiding you, possibly even someone. You might not know the route, but you can feel the wheel turning. It's not moving fast to rush you. It's moving because your energy said, "I'm ready." And the chariot responds to readiness. Then came the star, and I'll be honest, this one stopped me. Because I know how long you've been carrying that hidden dream. The one you barely say out loud because it feels too big or too tender. Maybe it's relocating. Maybe it's finding someone who truly sees you. Maybe it's finally doing the thing you've talked yourself out of a dozen times. The star shows up when that dream is no longer just wishful thinking. It becomes a possibility starting to take shape. This is the moment where you're asked to believe again. Not in hype. In hope. Not in fantasy. In the kind of future that shows up when you've done the real work quietly, without applause. The star reminds you that you don't need to chase. You only need to stay open. What's meant to arrive will recognize you by the light you've been holding all along. And then came the third card, the Six of Pentacles. And that's where it all clicked into place. Leo, there's someone stepping toward you. This card isn't about charity. It's about sacred exchange. Someone sees your frequency, even if they can't explain it. They're drawn not by drama, but by truth. The Six of Pentacles often points to a person with resources, financial, emotional, spiritual, who chooses to give, but not recklessly. They give where there's balance. They give where the energy has already spoken. You've been giving quietly for a long time. Energy like that builds interest. It calls in what matches its depth. This person approaching, whoever he is, not just arriving with wealth. He's arriving with intention. And he's being moved by something he doesn't fully understand, but can't ignore. That's how alignment works. Not always loud. Always real. If you're still here, breathing into these words, then you already feel what's forming. Let it rise. And if you're ready to deepen your connection to what's coming, say so. Write "I'm ready" in the comments or type 777 to echo your energy into the space we're sharing. You've been patient, Leo. You've held your part of the light. Now someone is moving toward it. Not because you asked, but because you became it. Sometimes, what changes our lives doesn't come in the form of a dramatic lightning strike or a sudden miracle. Sometimes, it comes in quietly, with calm eyes, deliberate action, and a presence that feels like an answer you forgot you were waiting for. That's the energy of the man showing up in your field, Leo. He's not loud. He's not performing. But he's moving with clear intention, and whether he knows it consciously or not, he's responding to the exact vibration you've been holding all along. This is not a man who throws his wealth around to impress. He doesn't lead with charm or status. He leads with clarity. There's something about him that's grounded. His intuition is sharp, not mystical, but natural. He can feel when something is real. He's not here to rescue anyone. But he's wise enough to recognize when something or someone is worth showing up for. And you, Leo, are that someone. What makes him wealthy isn't just his resources, it's his alignment. He knows how to move energy in the real world. He's not trying to collect people. He's looking for resonance. He doesn't offer attention out of pity. He offers opportunity where the energy has already spoken for itself. So how might he appear? Not necessarily in romance. That's not the only kind of connection that matters. He might come in the form of a new business opportunity. An invitation to relocate or collaborate. A suggestion that feels casual at first but lands deeply, like a thread being pulled that you've been holding onto for years. He may suggest you leave a city, a job, a lifestyle. Not to escape, but to expand. That's what this man represents. A kind of pivotal turning point. He doesn't disrupt you, he activates you. And let's be honest, you've been feeling it for a while now. That sense that where you are is no longer enough. That there's more to be claimed. That maybe, just maybe, something bigger is trying to meet you, but first, you have to loosen your grip on what's comfortable. That's how the universe works. It meets us where we're willing to let go. This external shift, new environment, new connections, new lifestyle may be the trigger. But the real movement is happening within you. Because even if someone opens the door, you're still the one who has to walk through it. When your surroundings change, your frequency adjusts. New colors, new light, new people, they start to match the vibration you've been cultivating in silence. And when your frequency shifts, the way you see yourself changes too. You begin to make space for more. Not because you're chasing it, but because your nervous system finally feels safe enough to receive it. This is not about leaving. It's about being lifted. You're not being pushed out of your current life. You're being placed into something that fits the version of you that has quietly evolved behind the scenes. And that's why this man, whoever he is, isn't random. He's not here to define you. He's here to mirror the parts of you that are already ready, even if you haven't said it out loud yet. It may feel subtle. Like a conversation that stays with you. A message that lands harder than it should. An opportunity you almost ignore until your gut tells you not to. This is where the new chapter begins. Not with noise, but with a nod. A yes. A slow unfolding. So if you've been feeling watched lately, not in a strange or invasive way, but in a way that feels like someone is quietly witnessing your energy, and dismiss it. That's part of this. People are starting to sense what you've been becoming. And if something in you says yes to this moment, if this feels like something you can't quite name, but fully recognize, then speak it. Type yes in the comments below. Let your soul confirm what your intuition already knows. You are not being moved. You are being chosen. And the moment you allow yourself to receive that truth, the entire path ahead begins to shift. When life begins to move in your favor, it's not always about chasing more, it's often about making room. That's what this season is asking of you, Leo. Not to rush into something new, but to signal that you're ready for what has already been circling your name. And sometimes, that signal starts with the simple act of clearing space. Clean your room, not because it's messy, but because every object holds energy. Move your bed a few inches. Rearrange your desk. Delete old files from your laptop. Organize your calendar. It might sound small, but energetically, these are declarations. You're telling the universe, I'm open. I'm available. I'm willing to be moved. This isn't superstition, it's alignment in action. If you want to deepen that alignment, I always recommend the 3-6-9 ritual. It's simple, powerful, and works best when done with presence. In the morning, write down 3 things you want, not just material things, but experiences, energies, alignments. Midday, write down 6 reasons why you believe you deserve them. Not surface-level reasons, but honest ones: your growth, your commitment, your healing. And in the evening, write 9 thank yous as if those things have already arrived. Gratitude isn't a reaction. It's a frequency. And when you embody it, the universe starts to move toward you faster. Another tool I've seen change lives is intuitive journaling. 1 question. 1 page. Each morning. Try asking, if I were relocated today, what would be waiting for me there? Let your answers surprise you. Don't overthink. Just write. Sometimes, your inner voice knows what your outer world hasn't caught up to yet. This is also a time to tend to your body, not because it's failing, but because it's carrying more than usual. Growth requires energy. Even good change can be exhausting. If you've been feeling tension in your chest or pressure in your heart, don't ignore it. That's not just stress. That's emotional buildup. Support your body with calming minerals like magnesium or a good B complex. Stretch. Move gently. 10 minutes a day is enough to remind your nervous system that you're safe to receive more. Professionally, now is the time to reassess where your energy is going. Ask yourself if the space you're in allows your ideas to breathe. If not, don't force yourself to stay small. Give yourself 20 minutes each day to write down 3 new ideas, big or small. Even the ones that don't make sense yet. Creative breakthroughs rarely show up fully formed. They come in fragments, and those fragments matter. In love, stay open but don't overanalyze. Don't try to explain away every feeling with logic. Let yourself feel. Sometimes the right connection doesn't come with a label. Sometimes it comes with a resonance. And the relationship on the horizon for you, Leo, is not ordinary. It carries a frequency that feels fated. You'll recognize it not just by how it makes you feel but by how it makes you remember who you are. Finally, pay attention to numbers. Not just as symbols, but as messengers. If you keep seeing 777, that's a signal, a cycle has completed. Something new is being born. If 1111 shows up, that's your gate. Your reminder that this moment is a threshold. Not something to fear, but something to cross. And if you feel that truth landing in your chest, say it out loud. Or type it below. Write 777 in the comments to activate the chapter that's been waiting for your permission to begin. Leo, if you've made it this far, it's not just because you were curious. It's because a part of you, the part that's been quietly listening beneath the surface, recognizes that this message was never random. It was aligned. It was waiting for you. There comes a moment when all the silent growth you've walked through begins to glow from within, and suddenly, the outside world has no choice but to respond. That's where you are now. This isn't about being pulled out of your life. This is about being placed where your soul has already been expanding toward. The man we spoke of, the wealthy figure being drawn toward you, is not coming to fix what's broken. He is not a fairy tale, not a lottery ticket, not a cosmic accident. He is the reflection of all the energetic work you've done behind closed doors. He is a response. He is alignment. And more than anything, he is proof that the energy you've been sending out has reached the right frequency. This moment at the end of November marks a pivot point. It's when the scales begin to tip. Not because you've begged or hustled or forced anything, but because you've stayed grounded in your truth long enough for life to catch up. You haven't been pushed. You've been chosen. You're not being removed from a chapter. You're being upgraded to the next. And Leo, this is not about doing more. It's about finally receiving more. But to receive, you have to trust that you've earned this. That your light has always been enough. That your quiet loyalty to what's right, even when it went unseen, was never wasted. So I want to ask you this gently, but directly. Are you ready to walk through the next doorway without needing every answer? Are you willing to believe that the shift happening around you is the result of everything you've already survived and healed and matured into? Are you open to receiving something or someone that recognizes your energy and doesn't ask you to shrink? Let those questions sit with you. Let them move through you. And if your answer is yes, I invite you to ground it in a simple action. Comment below with, "I am ready," or the number 777. Not for me. For you. To mark this moment. To give your energy a clear signal of commitment. The universe listens louder when we claim things out loud. And as you step into the rest of this month, I want you to remember this: you are protected. You are guided. You are on time. Even when it feels like nothing's happening, something always is. Especially now. So be patient with your own unfolding. Let the energy do what it's already been orchestrating behind the scenes. Keep creating space for the new chapter to arrive. Keep nurturing your vision. Keep trusting your pace. And if this message touched something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need this kind of reminder today. We rise better when we rise together. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Every like, every comment, every subscription to this channel Eternal Mindfulness is not just support. It's participation. It's a shared vibration. It's you saying, "I believe in my path, and I'm not walking it alone." So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let this space continue to be a sanctuary for your spirit. Because I promise you, Leo, what's coming next is not small. It's sacred. And you are more than ready to meet it.